Hey there, Morgan Maley from Breakthrough Fitness. And today we are talking about stretching again for joint pain. So, the last 7 days here, you've been working on strengthening, cardio, and stretching. So, we're already back to stretching, and we're going to work through the full body here. So I'm coming to you live from my basement today, not at the studio, because Wednesdays are work from home day for me. So this is also a testament that you can stretch from anywhere. So we're going to start on the floor and we're going to start doing a figure 4 stretch. So you're going to lay on your back and we're going to go all the way down. And then you're going to take your right leg and cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then you can bring that left leg into your body and grab somewhere on that left leg and bring it into your chest. And that's going to stretch out your glute, maybe even a little IT band. And we're just going to breathe and hold that again for about 5 deep breaths or 30 seconds. Just feel that stretch. One more deep breath. And then bring both legs back down to the floor. Now we're going to take your left ankle, cross it over your right knee, bring your right leg in, and take some deep breaths. You should feel that stretch in that left glute. One more deep breath, and then bring those legs back down to the floor. So again, stretching the glutes, always beneficial. If you have really tight hips, tight low back, can be really helpful. The next stretch we're going to do is we're going to flip over and we're going to stretch your hip flexor. So those are on the front of your hips. You're going to be kneeling. If kneeling hurts, you can put like a blanket under you. I'm doing this on carpeting, so it's a little bit more forgiving. We're going to step your left leg out so you have a 90-degree bend. And then we're just going to push our hips slightly forward, and you're going to feel that stretch in your right hip flexor. So if I look straight on at the camera, now you can see me straight on. I'm staying tall, and we're just feeling the stretch in the front of your hip here, that hip flexor. You might even feel a little stretch in your quad. And again, just bringing those hips forward enough to feel the stretch, but not overdoing it, taking some deep breaths. One more big deep breath. And then we're going to go ahead and switch legs. I'm going to go back to a side view. So now we're going to step that right foot out, 90-degree bend. And now we're going to just slightly shift forward. Take some deep breaths here. You should feel that stretch in the front of your left hip, maybe into your quad. Take some deep breaths. As you take your deep breaths while you're stretching, you might be able to stretch a little further, and that is great. You want to use your breath to stretch further. You don't want to just force your body into that position. All right, one more breath. And then I'm going to have you stand up for our last leg stretch here. And I'm just going to adjust my camera. So what we're going to do is you're going to stand up nice and tall, and we're going to stretch out your quad. Just going to get rid of that glare back there for you. So you're going to stand up nice and tall, and then if you need something to balance on, you can hold something. But what we're going to try and do is grab your ankle. So we're going to start with your left ankle, hold on with your right arm to something if you need to. Knee stays down, and we're stretching out that quad. So from the front, again, staying nice and tall, left knee stays down. I don't want it out here or leaning forward yet. We are just strictly trying to stretch out your quad. So if your hams or your hip flexor was really tight, your quad might also be tight. Take some deep breaths. One more, and then we're going to go ahead and switch legs. So grabbing that right ankle with your right arm. If you need something to balance on, hold with your left arm. Knee stays down. Upper body stays nice and tall. And you're just feeling that stretch in your right quad. And the reason we want to stretch is if those muscles are really tight, they attach across joints. That's how our body moves. And if they're tight, that joint just keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter and can cause a lot of discomfort. So if we can keep the muscles around the joint loose, then a lot of times the joints are going to feel a lot better. All right, now we're going to move on to some neck circles. So we're going to move on to upper body. That your hips should feel nice and loose now. Now, if you sit at the computer, hold your phone, picking up kids, we're here a lot. I like to just do some basic neck circles. So you're just going to stand tall and then drop your ear to your shoulder. And now just gentle circles going around, rolling back, rolling forward. So a lot of people get chronic neck pain from tight muscles. Our heads weigh about 10 pounds and are supposed to sit centered over our spinal column. But a lot of times we end up leaning forward, and that adds a lot of extra force onto our neck and causes discomfort. One more circle in this direction, and then I want you to change directions. So during your work day, you should be thinking about good posture, keeping your head centered over your shoulders, but also getting some blood flow and that fluid moving. You also have fluid that surrounds the joints. And so moving the muscles and the joints cause that fluid to move around and it doesn't build up and feel so tight in there. One more circle in this direction. All right. And then another place we get tight is kind of in that upper back scapula region. So we're just going to take your arm and go across your chest, kind of stretch out the back of your shoulder here. So you're going to take your right arm, reach it across your chest, then take your left arm, bend your elbow, and pull up towards you. You should feel that stretch in the back here. Now I just want you to pull it nice and tight. When you're pulling your arm towards your chest, try to make sure your shoulder isn't up towards your ear. Keep it pulled down and back. Standing nice and tall. You can also do this seated if you need to, taking some deep breaths, stretching out the back of the shoulder. Again, this can get really tight just from having your arms in front of you all day. One more deep breath. You can kind of swing your arms out, and then we're going to take your left arm across the chest, bend your elbow, bring it in, and take some deep breaths. You should feel that behind your left shoulder blade. Good. A couple more deep breaths here. And these are easy stretches you can do at your desk while you're watching TV. Anything just quick. If you're feeling tight, soreness, a good way to stay loose. So those are my 5 stretches in 10 minutes for today. If you have any questions or gave it a try, I'd love to know how it feels in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you back here tomorrow for another round of strength.